Welcome, everybody, to the Leadership Lounge. It is so good to have you watching this playback today. It's just myself and my trusted assistant on this call, and I'm excited to get into this. I wrote this teaching today for more of a dialogue, which I would love to still have with you, but I've quickly changed it into a very quick, swift teaching. Hope it is encouraging to you. I believe it will encourage you. I believe it'll encourage your leadership. It has encouraged me writing it for the past week or so. So I want to get into this today. I want to mention real quick, though, the obvious transition to the Leadership Lounge from the Lounge Weekly. The Lounge Weekly, of course, was a subscription-based Netflix-esque type of model, to where we could just get subscriptions at scale. But I said, you know what? I don't just want a big company. I want an effective company. I want a company, a service, an offer that truly transforms leaders to the depths and inspires leaders to be beyond what they could be. And I didn't really feel in my heart that this next season of this service, that a subscription-based model would do that. So I said, hey, I got back in the prayer tank and in the think tank, in other words, at this whiteboard over here. And I said, hey, how can I bring more impact to every leader that is devoting their time to jump into this? And I said, you know what? I want to transition from a subscription to a membership. So welcome to the Leadership Lounge. Again, as we continue to scale this thing to a degree, we're going to begin more dialogue. And I want to respond, to your direct questions. And I want to move from a shotgun-based model in this setting to more of a sniper rifle and speak exactly into your situation and into your leadership. So I want to run through this today. I am offering now some one-on-ones. If you would like a one-on-one in a setting just like this, or if you're local, I can meet with you in person. Of course, that's always my preference. But if you would like a one-on-one, we can definitely set that up and we can talk about just what that entails. And of course, my executive reset is still available. That is an 8-week program. And the add-on for me to write your schedule for the second 4 weeks is available as well. We could talk about that later. Anyways, let's get into this. I want to talk about personal discipline today. Personal discipline. I believe that the better you are personally, the better you'll be professionally. I'll say that again. The better you are personally, more disciplined, more fulfilled. The better you are professionally, more fulfilled, more effective. Okay. Some people think that the better you are professionally, the better you'll be personally. I don't live by that philosophy, because I've seen people make a lot of money professionally, be very effective professionally, thinking that will make their home life, their personal life, very effective and fulfilled. And it's just not that way. Okay. Because the professional you necessitates the personal you. You got to be intact. Your character has to be intact. Your integrity. You have to have that spirit of excellence personally, that spirit of honor personally, right? So I believe the better you are personally, the better you'll be professionally. And it is so key and so important to have personal discipline. What I mean is in your health, in every area of your life, in your relationships, in your mental state, right? In your time management, which we've talked about a lot. I like to call it time maximization. Okay. And we have a session on this. You can kind of rewind in the YouTube archives, and I would love to just send it to you and make it simple for you. But personal discipline, I found this about the lack of discipline. If one thing begins to fall apart, it's but time and pressure that it's like dominoes. Other things begin to fall apart. This is why I'm emphasizing, being healthy personally, disciplined personally, because it carries over into your work life, into your leadership. Leadership is being the example to people. It is showing them what is possible. We want to be that standard. People just need to see that a high level of true discipline is possible. A high level of impact is possible. That's leadership. It's being that example. Okay. The more disciplined you are in your life, the more fulfilled you'll be, the more effective you'll be, the more available you'll be, because you've managed time well, you've managed your energy well, right? You've managed relationships well, so you'll be more available. Imagine for your spouse, for your social life, your friends, your kids, you'll be much more available. For your employees, you'll be more available. Those who you lead, your team members. Okay, so personal discipline matters. You'll last longer in leadership. In other words, you won't die off early because you'll be healthy mentally and physically. You'll be healthy, so you'll last longer. Why wouldn't we want to have the most, long-lasting impact in our leadership? It matters. It matters. Your health matters. Your mental health matters. Your overall wellness and wholeness matters. And of course, me, all of you on this call, it's your spiritual life matters. And maybe we'll get into that later on in a different teaching. And then, like I said earlier, you'll be the ultimate example. Okay. Sometimes all that people need to see is an example. Why wouldn't you want to have the honor and privilege of being an example to somebody, showing somebody what is possible, being wildly inspirational? That's one mantra that I want to put on this wall over here, is be wildly inspirational. I want my life, somebody who didn't come from much, statistics, should have been applied to me. I want people to see my life, even if people just see me as just a normal person, but I've accomplished some things. Like even if I gotta be that crazy example, like he shouldn't be where he is, wherever that is. But now we know if it had not been for the grace of the Lord. But I just want to live a life that is wildly inspirational. It is my dream, my goal, my aim as a leader, my personal conviction as a leader, to when I walk into a room, I want to inspire people. I want to encourage people by my words, by my actions, by my so-called success. I want to show people that it is possible to fulfill your dreams, to reach your purpose. I want to show people that. So I encourage you as a leader to be that example, because once people see it, they start believing that maybe I can do that in my own way, right? And even if you have to walk into a room and start believing in others more than they believe in themselves, sometimes that's leadership, is you start calling out the gold in them, right? So there was a man, you might know the story, by the name of Roger Bannister. 1954, up until this specific point, no one has broken the 4-minute mile. In other words, no one has run a mile in under 4 minutes. Roger Bannister believed, he showed up as an anomaly and believed that it was possible. And he ran a 3-minute, 59-second mile this day. No one up until this point, this was 67 years ago. No one until this point broke the 4-minute mile. And this man that day did. And what happened? Since then, according to Wikipedia, which we know that, I don't know if it's exactly reliable, when you can jump in there and make edits. I don't know if that's a thing anymore. Anyways, But since then, 67 years, over 1,400 runners have broken the 4-minute mile. Why is that? Is it because humans got faster? Not necessarily. We evolved? No. It's because they saw the example of what was possible. Roger Bannister believed that it was possible. He had personal discipline to match his belief system, to match his vision. And that's really what this comes down to, right? Is you have to actually believe in the vision. You have to want it bad enough. I was talking to the interns the other day at the church that I work at, that I pastor at. And I asked them, did they have a vision? And then I went on to say that your actions and your priorities, they must align with that vision. Otherwise, you don't really believe in it. You don't really want it. If you really want something bad enough, you're going to do whatever it takes to get there. Now, not to the extent of sacrificing, your well-being, relationships that matter. Not necessarily like that. You're not just going to do it with brute strength, but your days, your disciplines ought to align with your vision, your actions, not just your theories or your, I wish I could do this. But whatever vision you have in your life, whatever your vision is, it is probably not running a 4-minute mile. If it is, power to you, it'll never be mine. But if your vision for your company, for your organization is this, for your own personal life is this, it's going to necessitate discipline. And I'll go on to say, if you have vision for your organization professionally, it still points to you having personal discipline. Because you and your organization's reaching this, it necessitates a healthy you, a maxed out you, a fulfilled you, an effective you. It all goes back down to discipline. You'll always fall at the level of your discipline. When you go through seasons, go through challenges, you'll always retract back to the level of your discipline. Not what you wish you could be, but to your true disciplines. We need personal disciplines as leaders in our lives, in our health, in our mental state, in our relationships, time management. We must be disciplined. We need to be that example, right? And when I see people that are disciplined, I am wildly inspired. There was an event that I went to the other day, and there was a 60-something-year-old pastor there. He had an incredible team around him. He had great relationships. His marriage appeared to be great. He was physically healthy. He was probably outworking most of the people in the room, if not all. And I was so inspired. I was inspired by this man who is twice my age and is out there doing it probably twice as effective, if not more, than I am. That's what inspires me. That's what inspires me. So one more thought, and then we'll be done. But the question that I want you to begin to think about, and what we could have dialogue on, maybe in these coming weeks or minimally on Slack, is what areas do you feel like you lack in with your discipline? I want you to be real honest, because it's the only I could say it this way. It's like if we only certain matters can be healed if they're revealed, right? We can only find solutions to problems that are spoken. But problems and issues and concerns and lacks that are withheld, it's not open for discussion. You're trying to work it out in yourself. This is why we need others, right? So I want you in the Slack channel. This is an assignment, if we can give assignments in this setting. I want you to just open up as much as you're willing to, of course. You don't have to get super personal, but just communicate on Slack what areas you feel like you lack in with your personal discipline. And there is no wrong answer to this. So if it's something that I didn't even mention as an example, then just go with that. But what areas do you lack in? But a couple of different things I want to close with. Oftentimes, remember growing up, we would do the math equation. In math, the teacher and the book, math is like in numbers a lot, or in letters, right? It would be like A plus B equals C. And I'd always be frustrated with that. Like, why are we using letters? It's math and it should be numbers and all this stuff. But of course, I understood it later on. But I think a lot of us look at our vision, our summary, our end goal through the lens of trial. We look at our summary, our vision, our end goal through the lens of A plus B equals vision, C. Let's say that C represents vision. Okay, that's how we look at it. Is, oh man, I got to go through A. I got to go through all this B. I got to go through trials. I got to go through, setting up personal disciplines. I got to get organized. I got to get the right relationships. I got to do all this stuff. And we say, oh my gosh, that's so much effort to get to C, and it's overwhelming, and it could seem daunting. And you can feel like that's when insecurity, inadequacy, inferiority, get this word right. That's when all that kicks in before we get to C. But I want to encourage you today to flip that equation around, okay? To lock in, not on the trials that you got to go through, not on the disciplines that you got to put in place, but lock in on what your C is, what your vision is. Lock in on that. And then not just that, but take it another level. Why you are going after that, right? So see it through this lens. C equals A plus B. In other words, if I see it through this lens, I'll be willing to do whatever it takes. The A and B will just happen. It'll just happen because I'm locked in. I am locked in on C. C is my aim. I think the question I have for us today is, besides what areas do we lack in, is what's your C? What's your C? We need to clarify what the C is. If we don't have a clear C, if we don't have a clear vision and end goal, when I say an end goal, it could be to a project or to a company or to this is where I want my family to end up, etc. All this stuff, whatever it is for you, there's nothing wrong about what yours is versus your neighbor's, right? But clarify your C. See it through the lens. See A and B through the lens of C. Just it's a mental shift. Just flip it around. C is what you're locking in on. All right? So clarify your C. What is your vision? Lock in on that. Everything else will happen. And there's a whole different thought on it that you'll consistently drift towards, that which you're familiar with. So get really familiar with your C, because your C matters. Your C matters. It's like you were born with that C in you. It's not like you just decided that this was going to be my C. Maybe it's part of your purpose. Maybe it's a big reason, why you were born. It matters. Your C matters, and it's going to impact a lot of people, and it's going to involve a lot of people, because vision always impacts and involves others. Always. If it only impacts and involves you, it's much too small. Throw that C out. Get the right C. Okay. Hope that encouraged you. I love you dearly. I would love to continue with the dialogue on Slack. I'm here for you as a friend, as a coach. I'm here for you. I absolutely am loving Mondays. I love the conversation that we'll have in these settings and on Slack. And I look forward to continue to do this alongside you. What an honor it is to walk in this leadership journey with you. And our future is very, very bright. Go serve somebody. Go tell somebody today how good they're doing. They're doing much better than they think they are. And you are doing much better than you think you are. God bless you. Much love. We'll talk to you soon.